I've been with the same team for 10 years, but I feel like I've been with 3 different teams. I was a rookie coming into an unstable organization that really had no identity. We just played an exciting brand of basketball. We had really loyal fans, but we didn't win. And I was just learning the ropes, trying to get better. And we slowly started making strides, but it was slow. We turned the corner to becoming a playoff type team. And when you talk about being the man and all that type of stuff, that's when I had my experience and going through that. The spotlight and the attention and all that type of stuff, just getting blown out the roof. And then we ended up winning a championship in 2015 at the end of that run. And then the third team I played for is this current edition where we have K, Draymond, Clay, Andre, Sean. So much talent. Like, our ceiling is just way up there, and there's sacrifice that comes with it, and that's the part that took me a minute to adjust to and learn. When Kay made the decision to come and play, for us, the first thing we talked about was it doesn't matter who's the face of the team or who's the face of the organization or who's the man. It matters how do we elevate each other's games out there on the floor? How do we help each other be great?
Coming in.
The Golden State Warriors select Stephen Curry, the 6'3" junior guard out of Davidson.
Curry is putting on a beauty show here.
Back-to-back titles, 3 in 4 years.
Steph Curry from way downtown.
For the third straight year, the Warriors are the odds-on title favorite entering the season, so the Warriors are going places, at least from a projection standpoint, that no team has gone on in a long, long time.
Raymond, what are you on? All right, I'll take you guys. Here we go.
We have a chance to win 3 championships in a row. What it's going to take for us is a unified sense of purpose and spirit. Players have to be connected. Nothing can get in the way of that. And we got to have some luck, good health. All those things have to come together. We got a really strong foundation. We've been doing this for years. We've hung 3 banners in this gym together. But it gets harder and harder. And so we have to lean on each other to help us through.
This team, if they focused it, they would go like 78, 79 wins.
They go 79-3.
Yeah. Yep.
They might set a record for wins.
They already did that without Durant.
Yeah.
What are your feelings going into the season? What are your predictions for your team?
We're going to go 82-0, and we're going to win a 4th championship. We're going to sweep the entire playoff run because it's going to be easy because we're the Warriors. It's basically it.
You look at the Warriors, it's early in the season, but they're playing their best basketball. Their stars are rolling.
Steph 3.
Steph, 51 points, 11 three-pointers, 5 games in, and you heard the MVP chants tonight. What specifically is clicking for you as you start the season?
10 years in, I should be able to figure out, how to start off the year right. Got a great group of guys I get to go to war with every night.
I can be who I am because my teammates are who they are, and we cover each other's weaknesses, we amplify each other's strengths, and we all win. Something special about that chemistry. On any given night, you don't know who's going to give it to you. But
Just dancing and prancing.
I think a lot of people confuse chemistry with friendship. And I think the most important thing when you're speaking of chemistry is respect.
That last 3?
I was wide open on a break, too. He could have threw it over me for the dunk. It was good, though.
He's tied Steph for NBA history. 14 threes in a game has never been done.
He broke your record, and you were eagerly feeding him.
We were all having fun trying to find different ways to get him open looks, and he was knocking them down. So, yeah, it's fun to watch.
The culture here that's been created is very special. Obviously, it starts with the dudes who've been here the longest, especially Steph, though.
This whole entire organization has kind of taken on Steph's joy for basketball, his demeanor and presence. You know, just the carefree way he goes about life.
That's infectious, and the tone that he helps set every day, that is most important.
Please have your seat.
Right start. Everything we got to bring out here to do it. Discuss. Just us. 1, 2, 3.
I'm expecting a great basketball game between Milwaukee and Golden State.
I talked a big game this summer about how great I felt coming into the season and feel my growing pop against Milwaukee in the middle of the game.
This is something that all Warrior fans don't want to see. The #1 scorer in the league heading back to the locker room.
This is a weird one. I usually have ankle injuries where I step on somebody's foot and roll my ankle, or somebody crashes into my knee. This one was just kind of in the flow of the game, trying to contest an alley-oop. Get poked and prodded in your groin all day, it's not fun.
It's a huge concern in Steph Curry's career. He's had 17 documented ankle injuries. 15 of those have caused him to miss a total of 70 basketball games.
He had surgery on his right ankle in May of 2011 after repeated sprained ankles in the 2010-11 season. He had surgery again in April 2012 after aggravating the ankle several times during the 11-12 season.
This is not wear and tear. What this is certain players have a frequency to getting injured. And for Steph Curry, this is something that's plagued him for a really long time.
Make it 2-1 Oh, the block and a foul as Curry comes up limping. Curry hobbling down the tunnel.
It was really, really hard watching him go through the injuries and having to go through multiple surgeries. Like, the first time, okay, we get through it. The second time, it's like, I hate that this is happening for you.
Oh, me. I've seen that before, but it's been years.
I'm sure he doubted whether he'd be able to stay in the league. And all we could do is just support him and continue to give him confidence that, hey, injuries happen. You can fight back, rehab, get back on the floor, you'll be fine. You can say that, but he's got to believe that and put in the work. And I knew that was in him.
It took me a while after my second ankle surgery to really feel like I was myself again. I would say a while as in like almost a year and a half.
You talked about doing another image as well, potentially.
I mean, you know what's up, so if you think it's necessary to get another one.
Yeah.
I'm going to sleep for an hour. So.
Nice break of the day. Let's get back to work.
When I first got hurt and I was in the back talking to Rick, he set the table by saying this isn't days. So I could kind of understand at that point, like, this isn't going to be, something I can rush back, nor should I. So the way that I'm approaching it is staying positive, because I think your body feeds off of that energy. When you're talks about healing and whatnot.
Going up, never coming down. Yeah, my feet got lit.
You gotta stay engaged. That's for me. That's the biggest part. Like, you can't just check out and wait for your body to get back. And I feel like you can just step foot on the court and be yourself. So, however long it takes, when I'm back, I'll be back. Still November. There's still plenty of time left in the season. I was playing well, and the team was playing well before. Can't start to let any type of doubt or whatever creep in terms of what this will mean for the rest of the year. It's very flattering right there.
Golden State shorthanded. Steph Curry sidelined with the groin injury. This is a busy part of the Warriors' schedule. You're doing it without Steph Curry.
Crafty Williams again, down to 3. Iguodala stayed down. That's almost an air ball. It ticked iron. They don't use a timeout at 3. Draymond at 2. They got to get a shot off, and they don't. It will go to overtime, which is still a win for the Warriors, but you would have loved to have had a shot to win the game.
Golden State in a tie game in the final seconds. Draymond Green gets a defensive rebound. Kevin Durant is begging for the ball. Draymond Green instead takes it himself, runs the length of the floor, and bad things ensue from there. This was the huddle before the overtime. These two guys have to be separated to some degree. Not to suggest that they were fisticuffs or anything of the sort.
We were 9-1 at one point. Everybody was clicking. And then we got some drama on the team, and it becomes a different type of season, just like that.
This a day that has had an unusual amount of drama surrounding the Draymond Green and Kevin Durant verbal altercation. Chase by Cook. Puts it down for 9. Will do it. 107.86. A blowout by the Rockets.
We're at our best. Everybody is aligned. We're having fun. We're supporting each other. Like, everybody is able to be their true selves, and that got broken for a little bit. It shows in how you play, because you can't really hide that stuff out on the court.
So the Warriors come to Texas without Curry, and they leave Texas without a win.
We're banged up a little bit physically, and right now we're banged up spiritually. I mean, that's there's no getting around that.
And the spirit is broken. It's tough to win a basketball game.
We've been up and down this year with our chemistry. Had a lot of adversity, a lot of bumps in the road. X's and O's are maybe 20% of the job. You know, the other stuff is about 80 to 90, maybe it's 90. What's happening internally with the group, that's the stuff that really matters.
Don't let it go this way. Don't let it go this way. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back.
When you talk about Warriors losing 4 in a row in 2018, that's kind of unheard of. So I would not have signed up to watch this script being written in terms of, like, this is what we needed, but this is what's happened. Either it's self-inflicted or it's been dealt to us with injuries and all that type of stuff. Like, it's a process to get through it, but it's just a matter of how you reshape that energy back to, like, something being productive. Thankfully, I learned team chemistry, how important that was, like in high school. You know, going to a Christian school and playing for a coach that wanted to build our faith as well as our character, as well as us as basketball players. There's a respect and care level in terms of valuing each person on the team and their story and their background and what they bring, you know, to the table. That's where I first started to understand the concept around, like, you can have as much talent as you want and you can be the man on your team or whatever, but in basketball, you're only as great as the sum of the parts, and everyone really has to buy into that and to truly be successful.
Stephen had the unique ability to kind of see things materialize ahead.
He was always 4 plays and steps ahead of his teammates.
He would see where a guy should cut to the basket, so he would throw that pass there. Well, the guy didn't cut to the basket.
Sure enough, turnover, because the guy he was going to pass it to had no clue what was going to happen. We had to tell him, just chill out. They can't see it.
Just a high IQ for the game, but he is such a great teammate. There are certain times we would have to tell him, we want you to shoot 5 times a quarter. At first, I think it was a little bit difficult for him because he really wanted his teammates to really have a good sense of respect for him and never get the idea that he would be the guy that would shoot it every time. But no one ever thought that. They all were just like, yeah, you need to be shooting the ball because we are absolutely better.
The oldest kid wanted all the privacy, but he had the longest walk to his room. So this is Jersey. Some light bulbs out. I don't come up here much. It's pretty much how he left it, 10 years ago. Early in high school, I'm like, okay, he's good enough. He'll be able to play Division I college, just off his shooting ability and his ball handling and knowledge of the game. He's always the smallest guy on his team, so I didn't know, what level of D1.
Look how skinny he is. People would chant at those tournaments, Dad can't help you, Dad can't help you. When he was good night. Bless his heart. He was tiny.
Just because my dad played in the league, that means I was going to get to play all the minutes, shoot all the shots. Like, I had a lot of things I had to kind of try to overcome in terms of if I wanted to be a really great basketball player, like across the board.
In the lane, big guys don't put the ball on the floor. Little guards are going to come down there and strip you.
Curry is blocked.
Between the sophomore and junior years, we're like, okay, you can't shoot from your waist or your chest anymore. You're going to get it blocked as you play against better competition. You got to be able to move that ball up and change the shot.
Fixing my jump shot was like one of the most traumatic experiences of all time.
Couldn't shoot from outside the paint for a while because he wasn't strong enough to shoot it properly with the new form.
He couldn't make a basket. It makes my stomach queasy thinking about him because I just remember watching him cry.
I was an emotional kid. I cried when I got a B.
And he just said, I can't do this. And I never heard him say that.
He was really frustrated. Myself and my wife, we double teamed him that whole summer, and he was off and running.
At guard, number 20, Stephen Curry.
Curry with the soft touch. And as good as his dad was as a three-point shooter in the open court, he could do stuff just like that, too.
He had a great 3 years of playing varsity basketball. In his senior year, I want to say he averaged about 16 or 17. We had 3 or 4 other Division I players on that team. So he shouldered his responsibility, and he got everyone else involved.
Stephen Curry this year has put a stamp on this team. This is his team. Over the summer, he's worked on his game tremendously. The biggest area that he's improved in is his leadership.
He had a very good way of communicating to his teammates. Sometimes guys are aggravated or agitated and they're yelling at their teammates. It just doesn't come across as very encouraging, and he had a very good way of, hey man, I want you to get the next one. I know you haven't touched the ball maybe 3 or 4 possessions, you're running hard. Remember, we're all a team, you're involved. I see you.
We didn't win a state title or anything in high school, so it didn't really work out, but the experience was kind of what mattered in terms of setting me on my way.
Gets by the defense, puts it up and in, a foul. That is as tough a shot as you get, plus a free throw.
This right here shows.
Oh, that's phenomenal. How far did that go? All right, little fader. As soon as I got hurt, my pops called me. And he's like, yep, see you getting them 30-year-old injuries now. I was like, yeah, I know, my groin just pop out of nowhere. I don't know how many golfers have groin injuries, but I pray to God they don't. I couldn't really swing until like 3 days ago. But I'm back now. But now my wrist hurts, man.
Steph Curry's missed the last 10 games without a adductor injury. Make every bit of sense in the world to be
every bit as cautious as possible before you bring back. But after this 5-5 stretch, if you're a Warriors fan, or if you're Steph Curry, you're getting anxious at this point to see him back out.
See them hating and it's fine by me. Fine by me. I see them hating and it's fine by me. It's fine by me.
In terms of like where we are as a team, like those little things that got us to this level, that gave us that edge, it's just really hard to maintain that. That's why this level of success is kind of unheard of. It's really easy for us to not work as hard on a daily with our individual routines, or try to take shortcuts with not watching as much film or not talking about X's and O's as much as we used to, because you feel like you got it all figured out, or showing up to a game unprepared just because you feel like talent can take over. Knowing people that I've gone to war with for the last 4 years, that's not how we approach things. But occasionally you gotta remind yourself like the details of how you got to where you are.
The fact that Steph wasn't there didn't help matters, but when we returned to the Bay, he was an integral part of trying to repair our spiritual injury. Every good team has to have kind of coalition builders, guys who can build bridges and bring people together and who have the respect of everybody. And that's what Steph represents for us.
He's always got a good indication of what to focus on and what to leave alone.
Oh, nothing. Oh, we don't need that.
When things go south, you have to let people be who they are, because there's no changing that. Like Draymond, he's just loud and demonstrative, and when he's in a room, you're gonna know he's in the room. And we need that. We need that fire when we're out there on the court. Clay is kind of just in his own world all the time, and that's what makes him special, because nothing really gets to him. And so he's just Mr. Consistent for us. And then Kay's just a basketball savant. Everything he talks about, he's reading about, he's thinking about is about the game. He's so good at what he does, and he always is trying to get better. It makes you uncomfortable to think like there's another level for this guy, and he's trying to find it. Like, we're all so completely different. We know we're human at our core, and there's stuff that's gonna bother us, whether it's justified or not. And we just gotta work through that stuff. And it takes time. Nothing's ever as easy as it sounds in terms of rallying the troops and recentering ourselves and refocusing ourselves on what we're doing. But the focus has to be on winning basketball games. Oh, man. Tell you what, you miss a little time, and you start playing again, you get really tired.
So is that your first time?
That's my third pickup session. Hopefully my last.
When are you thinking?
I'm thinking Thursday in Toronto. The team's thinking Saturday in Detroit.
Steph Curry is back. People are excited. We're excited. The Warriors have lost 5 straight road games. That does not happen to this team. It's good to have one of their leaders in the building.
Yes!
You look at Curry returning to the lineup, and the numbers are pretty staggering.
He brings out the best in everybody in all the offensive categories. It's unbelievable. But he also brings another thing. He brings a little spiritual, positive attitude to this whole team.
I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good. Having Curry back after missing 11 games.
Sent away the big dog junior. Klay Thompson around Blake. Laying it up and in. What a finish.
Strong finish.
Do you feel like you bring something to the team that's not just on the floor? Do you have a different role now than you've had in the past?
Leading the break again. Klay Thompson 3. DJ's there to follow it home.
When it hits the fan throughout the course of the season, you have to bring a little bit more purposeful, positive energy. Really trying to get a smile out of somebody on the court. That's my type of leadership.
I just kind of feel it's going to be all right for some reason. And maybe it's because of this guy.
And Curry's hit 2 threes.
And that's it. The Warriors end a 6-game losing streak on the road. Let's break it down.
Over my 10 years here, trying to find a way for the that chemistry and that expectation that when you show up and play for the Warriors organization, there's going to be a care level and a trust level amongst each other. And in the NBA, it's a lot tougher to find that bond because things change and it's a business. But the way that it's going now, it all adds to winning championships, and that's what I value the most.
A team like this, you're back-to-back champions. You're going to be tested, and you're going to be better for it in the long run. It's good to have some adversity. You face it.
Every team is like a living, breathing thing, like an organism, and you have to nurture that.
They just got tough. They got tough mentally and physically.
You've got to deal with a 9-month haul. That chemistry is going to be threatened from time to time. That's where we are this year.
He just breaks the other team's back.
They love it at Oracle, and why not?
I have a third grade daughter who always likes to flip to the last page of the book to see what happens. I never want to see the last page of the book. I obviously want to wonder. So it's the same with our season. It's like a good book. It's up and down, and I don't know how it'll end.
Toronto Raptors just rinse the Golden State Warriors 113.
What we have accomplished to date is historic, but the story is still going.
15,000 and appropriately on a 3.
So I just don't want to take it for granted because it's special. Who is that? How you doing? I'm Chris Brown. I used to sing from time to time. Yeah. You can bring them right over here. It's fine. Sorry. Run it, run it. Run it, run it. Is your man on the floor? If he ain't, let me know. I'm Chris Brown right now. The DoorDash thinks I'm Chris Brown. So who you want to be? We'll carry it in.
We'll bring it in and then empty it.
I just don't want to hurt my voice.
Is that okay? That's fine, yeah.
Thank you.